Hi, today I'm just checking a current energy in regards to love. It's just a collective reading, so there's no pile picking in this. And I already have taken out certain cards here for you guys, so let's just get started. So, what's happening currently in love in regards to your current situation? And you can proceed if only this particular part resonates with you. There are a couple of scenarios here. First is that some of you are actually waiting. Uh, for the right person to enter your life. It feels like it has been a long wait and a long struggle. And I actually see some of you have actually been working very strongly on yourself as well. Like you have done a process of understanding yourself, knowing who you are, and you feel that the timing is just right and like you truly deserve somebody. Then the second thing that I'm getting here is that some of you are already in a situationship or a relationship, or in a relationship which is basically not reached a very committed stage. So this can also be relevant for people who are maybe in talks in regards to arranged marriages, or who are already dating somebody since a while, but they're not really sure that if this relationship is going to turn into a proper commitment or not. And basically you are just in the energy currently of love and going with the flow and just working towards it on a day-to-day basis, but you don't necessarily know that what is going to be the end goal of this particular relationship or situationship. And I do see it seems to be progressing rather slowly. For those with whom the second part resonated, it seems to be progressing in a manner where you feel that yes, like there is love. I'm not necessarily seeing any red flags, but what I am actually seeing is that the energy is not only extremely slow, but it's also small offer. It's smaller things that you're kind of having to make peace with. Whereas I feel, as per my other cards, that you are actually ready for big things in your life now, for the complete change in your life now. And you do feel that I've kind of like paid my fair share of dues, and it is about time that whatever effort either you've been putting on yourself or in regards to this relationship, that it should yield into something bigger now. It should come out to be a committed relationship or a long-term relationship, and you don't really want to be continuing with this smaller proposal or smaller situation anymore. So what's happening for you in regards to love? So what's happening for you is definitely something extremely beautiful and amazing is going to come your way. Now, the problem with this card is that it doesn't really talk of a timing. Instead, what it talks about is that when you are going to be absolutely comfortable with your own self, like if you look at the figure is naked, and like getting naked is not easy, right? So, if you are going to be naked, that means that you're absolutely that comfortable with your own self that you are happy to expose all vulnerable, all wounded, all hurt, and even the healed parts of you. So, the card actually does talk a lot about healing also. It is not a card of somebody who is in a very victimized mindset. It talks of somebody that maybe who has been through that, who has been through that journey of healing, and now they feel so healed that they're totally comfortable with all parts of themselves. And the wounds that they had, they actually see that okay, the wounds are the reasons why they've grown up to be what they are. So coming back to the question that what's actually happening for you. So what's actually happening for you is definitely some sort of wish fulfillment, some sort of blessing is going to come your way. For very few of you, if there is a particular message, or if there is a particular call, or if there is some sort of a communication that needs to happen for you to have the clarity, I see that is what is going to happen here. But let me still pull out a clarifier. For some of you who are single, I'm actually also seeing that you may have a lot of admirers during this phase, and it may become a little difficult to understand that okay, who's the right one and who's the wrong one. And hence the next card is actually going to talk about how you should be dealing with the situation. But yes, for those who are single and not in any situation or any relationship or not dating anybody, there is a possibility that you are going to be having a lot of admirers. Okay. So now, as I pulled out the clarifier, what's happening for you behind the scenes, and what is happening for you that you may not be aware of, is that definitely some sort of communication or some sort of wish fulfillment in regards to love, something that you had hoped for, is definitely going to come true. But it may also require balancing the entire wish that will manifest itself. It would require you to be balanced and have a very analytical versus emotional approach. You can't be over analytical. This may also be relevant for certain people for whom they may feel that, our ex or somebody from our past is kind of returning. So instead of taking a highly analytical approach that, okay, if it didn't work out once, it will not work out ever, it's time to just analyze the situation in a very balanced form, both from an emotional and analytical perspective. Extremism of any kind is something that is not going to be working out well for you. One second. And for some of you, I'm also getting this message that right now, although you could be working very deeply in regards to your own self or in a particular situation or relationship, you're still not very comfortable in having the big talk. So this may be specifically relevant for people who are already maybe seeing somebody in regards to an arranged marriage, or you are in a relationship. I think you are kind of afraid of bringing out the big talk, like, hey, where is this going? Hey, are we going to get married? Hey, if you're going to get married, should we put a timeline to it? Should we start meeting each other's families and going through the other aspects of knowing that if you're going to be right for each other? So there is a little bit of fear in you. And that fear could also be that, what if the situation goes out of hand? And for those who are single, the fear could simply be that, okay, while you feel that you are ready for love and you have worked enough on yourself, but at the same time you are scared. You're scared that if it suddenly happens, would I be able to take it? Would I know how to handle it? So yes, balancing is required. In this context, I would actually say try balancing your root chakra first, and then try balancing your heart chakra. For that, I will leave something in the comments below. Maybe you can just chant a little bit on the root chakra and the heart chakra, and that should be able to help you with this situation. Because there is a fear of being able to get all the blessings in one go also. So it's actually showing a very mixed message that for those who are single, the fear could also be a little bit about that, will I be able to handle all the greatness that I would be getting? So I would say that behind the scenes, yes, things are going to work out for you. There is already something that is working out. You are simply being asked to be ready to expose yourself, be ready to be vulnerable, but coming from a space of being healed. If that sounds complicated, let me know. Put that in the comments below, and I would then try and give clarity in the comments. Okay, now what's happening for you? What's coming into your life in 3D? So there is a message here. I do see somebody going to be showing themselves up for you. It does seem to be somebody who is ready to offer their love to you, okay? For very few of you. So from basically the Page of Cups energy, which is like the little child of love energy, we are going to be moving into the man energy. So I do see that happening for you guys. But for many of you, what I'm also kind of sensing is that maybe you would realize that if you don't have the big talk, the person with whom you are dating or whom you are in talks to regarding your arranged marriage, they are always going to be withholding their love of their cup of love. They're always going to be keeping the cup of love towards them. They are always going to just withhold the feelings that they have for you. And I think in regards to that, some of you may actually decide to walk away. What I'm actually getting is that for few of you, this may have been like something that you were really hoping for to happen, like you really wanted this to work out, you really wanted like this to happen. And I do see that you have also invested a significant time in the relationship or in the situationship or in regards to chatting with the person. But at the end, there have been days when you just felt like left out, kind of alone, kind of like left to fend for yourself, the person not being there for you. Hence, what I am seeing is maybe a part of you would actually decide to walk away. Now, the struggle that I see here would be actually that when you would be walking away, this is where the healing and the need to totally be honest with yourself, like when you're naked, you're just honest also with yourself, like embracing each part of you. So that would also come into the picture. Why? Because when you're walking away from something, you would see a lot of glitter, but all that glitters is not gold. So what glitters can simply be just glitter, but you are supposed to know, if I reveal the later cards, that you deserve the world, you deserve the sun. So all that glitters is not gold, but I see that when you're going to be walking away, you might be shown a little bit of a bait, or you might be given a little bit of more offer, or you might suddenly start realizing that it's at least better than having nobody in my life. So that is what I'm getting for people who are in a relationship or in any sort of a situationship. But for people who are single, I am getting the Queen of Swords. So, Queen of Swords, I want to take this because I have a feeling my deck is like going a little haywire. So, there are cards that want to come out in their own self. So, again, okay, interesting. So, there's the Queen of Swords and there is the Empress. If you must know something about tarot, both these cards are somewhat similar in regards to their meanings and what they represent. So, for those who are single, just continue to stay in this power, just continue to heal. Continue to be ready to embrace all sides and all parts of you. And why is that? Because this is bringing this is actually bringing some sort of blessing to you, and it will happen when you least expect it. So, like, when you may have actually given up, and maybe that's why this card, when you may just feel that now I don't even need anybody, now I'm very comfortable like being alone, and maybe have embraced all of that, and I kind of am able to balance my balance my emotions, that what is it that I feel, and if I need love or I don't need love. So when you might be like in the least expecting energy of anything happening in your life, that is when I see that this coming out for you. I'm also seeing another card here constantly, so I'm going to mention that. A lot of it may also have to do with the fact that there are still certain wounded parts of your childhood, in regards to the relationship with your parents, your learnings of love from your childhood, that you may need to, I don't want to say that you want to heal. I just want to say that you just need to realize that, okay, those parts now have been taken care of. Why? Because what I'm truly seeing here is that you have actually healed. You have progressed a lot more ahead on your journey, alright? So there are few parts of you that maybe you are still doubtful about, that, what if that trigger shows up, or what if that problem shows up, or what if that issue in me shows up. It won't anymore. Just that you need to acknowledge that yes, maybe a part of me is still a little wounded or gets a little triggered, and once you acknowledge that, you would only find a way to curb that also. But definitely some blessing, some wish fulfillment. And we have two cards here of wish fulfillment, which is the Star and this. And both of them, Star a little lesser. Star says like it's going to be a slower journey, but this definitely talks about that it's going to happen when you least expect it, when you're just like maybe don't even need it anymore, and then it's just going to pop up for you. And all you have to do is you just have to stay true to yourself. You just truly have to stay in this energy of that, listen, I know what I deserve, I know what I'm worth of, and meanwhile I'm also working on myself, and that is when things will just start happening for you. Okay, so what is it that you should be doing? And then I have the card of outcome. So what is it that you should be doing? Don't do this, is what my cards are saying. Don't keep waiting. Don't be I don't want to use the word desperate, but like when you're constantly waiting onto something, it means you're obsessively thinking about it. Or even if you're not obsessively thinking about it, at the back of the mind, that is the constant theme that is running in your thoughts. So don't do that. Because see, like even if this person wants to earn and build more money, just looking at money won't do it, right? Like they have a stick, right? So instead they should be going and harvesting more money. So thinking about this is not going to help. I think this is your shadow self, or your subconscious self that you may not be aware of, is what's showing in the cards. So just pondering over when, or oh my god, I have so much to love to give and I don't have anybody to give it to, or like, why is it never working out, or will it even happen or not? No, you're not supposed to think all of that. Instead, my cards are saying that just keep in the energy of exploring and keep moving ahead, keep getting inspired, keep getting new people. And this is for singles. And that is when on your path, I'm telling you guys, there's something happening, okay? But for those who are in some sort of a situationship, in talks regarding arranged marriages, or in talks regarding a dating scene, or like a relationship that may not be like fully committed, where like you have had the conversation of marriage, or whatever your ultimate or end goal might be, so this is where the communication needs to happen. Now this is not exactly a card of communication, but what it does talk about, it talks about supreme clarity. So while you may not categorically go and ask the person, hey, I want to know where is this going and what's happening, what this is actually saying is that maybe just start testing the person, start observing the person, start observing actions versus words. So it's actually talking a lot about observation and basically seeking clarity. Now if you feel that you're not in that state, because I think communication is something that's slightly weak overall in the cards. It's funny, like, this is a relationship reading, it should talk a lot more about communication, but instead it's talking about that, you just need to get clarity for yourself. And if communication is something that you, because you're also coming off as slightly scared, if that is something that you will not be able to do, or if you feel that the communication would not be received right, it's about time that you figure out your own way of understanding that, okay, if this person is actually serious in regards to the goals that I have or not. So you need to test them. You need to understand that what is their own particular journey and does it align with your journey or not. But yes, getting clarity is something that should be on your cards. And for those who are single, it's talking about A, exploring, and B, again doing that with a lot of clarity in your mind, so that when you are on this journey, you already know where to make a pit stop or not. So even if you're like eyeing that, okay, I'm supposed to go further, you at least know that, am I supposed to stop in between the journey for a particular type of person or not, or am I still supposed to continue on my hunt and on my path with faith, like I said, not with the space of desperation, or not with the space of getting charmed by wrong people, so that you just land up with the right person. But I'm also getting the energies of exploration quite a lot. For some of you, I'm kind of also getting the energy that the person may not necessarily be in your city. The person could also be have a work or a schedule in which they travel a lot, or the person could also be looking out for other options in their own life, your person. Okay, and for those who are single, this is definitely talking about that you might actually meet your partner while traveling, or while you're actually out exploring, while you have opened yourself up to the fact that, okay, yeah, I need to find me somebody. But again, not with the sense of desperation or having an ultimatum. You're just like going and meeting people, observing, and then being like, I don't think this aligns, or I think this aligns. This calls for a second date. So that is the energy you should be in for those who are single. For those who are not, I feel that your partner could potentially be also exploring other people. I'm sorry, I just have to be honest, and I believe honesty is also something that you should seek out of tarot card readings. So here I'm just being honest with you. Then the second thing is that your partner could also be somebody who's actually either in a job that requires them to travel a lot, or they in their own life could also be in a journey where they have built something already, but they want to build over and above that. Now, because of which I feel all of these roadblocks are people like who are in a dating scene or a situationship or an arranged marriage talks, because having that honest communication, I don't think you're able to find the spot like when to slot it in. And this is also coming from the fact that if you're fully ready to leave or not, because you know that if you read or if you call it quits immediately, you are going to be in this extremely low energy thinking, oh my god, I have nobody for me and I'm so alone. But yes, clarity is the need of the hour, because there is clearly something else that could also be going on in your partner's mind. You are not the entirety of the focus. So had I been in your position, I would have obviously sought clarity, and maybe I would have started recognizing this also, and then taking a conscious call that if I need to stay in this and wait for them to realize that I should be their entirety, or like pretty much the center of the universe, or can I and their lives parallelly function together and meet at a conjunction? If not, then where is this headed? So that's just my personal opinion basis the reading. Now, lastly, what is the outcome of this entire thing? The outcome, guys, is wonderful. The outcome actually talks about that very soon. I have a feeling some of you would actually decide to walk away, or some of you would decide to get this clarity and then accordingly choose what is right for you. So I am getting the energies of taking charge, choosing what is right for you. Even if it is a small battle or a small clarity that you will get, you would feel victorious. You would feel like, yes, victory. And you would feel a little bit more at ease with your own self. Like if you look here, currently the person slightly feels that, oh, I don't know, like, what should I be doing? A little scared, a little reclusive. They also feel like, they are the one who's having to do a lot of balancing acts. Relevant for both singles and people who are in some sort of a relationship, dating situationship. Because if you're single, then it just means that you don't really necessarily know that, okay, where is this headed, where am I headed, am I supposed to be single forever, etc. or not. I have done enough healing and I'm constantly on that path, but will this help me or not? But let me just tell you, very soon you're going to feel like, I achieved victory. I have finally understood that what is it that I need to carry as a baggage with me, and what is it that is not my baggage in regards to me and in regards to the relationships. So I see that clarity setting in. And if you are with somebody currently, now this is where at least some card of sword. So I feel some sort of a way the communication is going to reach to you, or you might take charge actually to get the utmost clarity for your own self. Now hear me out. Even after you choose the clarity, there's always a chance that you may settle for the person. Sorry, just 1 second, guys. My cards fell down. So even after you get the clarity, there is a chance that you may still choose to go ahead and settle with the person. But my cards are simply pointing at getting clarity. Clarity is the need of the hour. So either you can do it for yourself, you can have a communication with them, or you can be a little sneaky and simply start observing the behavior and start testing them out. So after this clarity, what I actually do see is it moving from simply something being romantic or something just being purely emotional to becoming a little bit more practical, to becoming something with a little bit of more foundation. But I want to be honest with you guys, this is again an energy of page. This is not an energy of a king or a queen, which basically means that it is again going to be a very small step that is going to be taken towards that. So if you're single, you may end up finding somebody who is in alignment in regards to what you look for. And then of course, like, just because you meet somebody for a couple of times, it's not going to be like a yay or nay. So you would have to take some time into figuring out and analyzing that person. Again, balance, emotional and analytical. And if you are in a relationship or in some sort of a situation already, I do see it moving from the page of cups to the page of wands energy, where they may get a little bit more serious in regards to putting in efforts for you, or showing that yes, they mean business, or showing that they mean commitment, or they are serious in regards to their love. I do see that energy. But again, just a piece of warning that they both are the energy of pages, and the bottom of the deck is actually saying that it does seem like a very patient journey if you continue to tread on this path. For those who might take charge and choose to walk away, like I said at the starting of this particular this particular card set's reading, I actually see you moving towards a lot of happier times. Irrespective, overall the energy is that there's going to be a lot of movement, and you're going to be moving towards a period of nurturance emotionally, of emotional nurturance, of growth, a feeling of like reaching towards your destination after some sort of transformation. So this transformation can either be a chat that you have with your partner or situation or whatever it is, or this chat can be a chat that you have with yourself and you tell yourself, hey, you should be ready in the energy to explore and look out more. I do see a very little offer somewhere or the other. It's actually not a very strong message, it's only for few of you coming your way. So because of which, you may get into this mindset that, okay, let me explore it. Like, at least let me close myself to it. If you're single, and if you're in some sort of a relationship, I see two scenarios. Either you would actually decide to walk away and you would feel more transformative about it after taking charge, that, hey, I called it quits because it was not right for me. Or it actually moving from something just being emotional to becoming a little bit more stable and more grounding for you, which may feel very blissful to you. So the end of the energy is blissful. What I've done is I've actually asked the cards that overall just let me know the collective for the current energy is which may stretch up to 3 months. So yes, this is maybe up to 3 months, but what I was doing is I was simply checking the current collective energies, just to know that okay, what's happening in your love life. So if any part of it resonated, or if any part of it felt like that this reading could be yours, then please do claim it in the comments below. Bye.